we have a footnote here on page 20, this footnote number 5, where he talks about the people fall into this madness from committing suicide. And he says there's this inability to put a finger. You look at the footnote, he talks about there's people who have an inability to put a finger on the cause of one's misery. And this is an interesting thing because Imam al-Buti talks about this in another book of his, which we'll be working on, inshallah, called Al-Hub fil Quran, Love in the Quran. And it's also going to be discussed in a book on the subject of depression that we're working on as well. Nawabooks, speciality. So be on the lookout for that. But there's an interesting thing to point out here, because in that book, Al-Hub fil Quran, Imam al-Buti talks about, you see, this is another thing about sadness and depression and misery, is that you can't put your finger on it, but the very nature of who we are as human beings means that we're always going to feel like something is missing. We're always going to have that feeling that something is missing in our lives. Why? Because we are binary of nature, right? We're a body and we're a ruh. We're a jasad and a ruh. We're a body and we're a spirit. And the nature of the ruh, or the relationship between the ruh and the jasad in this life, is that the ruh is trapped within the jasad, right? The ruh has to go where the ruh has to go where the body goes. The body goes to sleep, goes to bed, that's where the ruh goes. The body goes out somewhere, that's where the ruh goes. Whereas in the next life, in the akhirah, it's the other way around. The jasad, the body, is subject to the ruh, and the ruh has its freedom. The nature of the ruh is to be free. Now, Imam al-Buti talked about this, and he said, if you go back, you look at the Quran and you look at Surah Al-Araf, the 7th chapter, verse 172, where Allah says, "Akhadha rabbuka min bani Adam min dhuhurihim dhurriyyatahum." When Allah took out the loins of the children of Adam from their the progeny from the loins of the children of Adam, and He made them, He made them testify against themselves, and He said, "Alastu bi rabbikum?" Qalu bala shahidna, and they said, "Indeed, we bear witness." And Allah says, "You don't say on the day of judgment that we were heedless of this." But the point is this: that obviously that wasn't us in a bodily form, but that was us in terms of our ruh, our spirits. We're all once, before this world was created, before we came into this world, all of our spirits were once standing before Allah. We were all there. We were all standing before Allah, and Allah spoke to us. And Allah said, "Am I not your Lord?" And we all said, "Yes, we are our Lord. You are our Lord." So what that means is, ever since that time, our ruh is yearning for that meeting once again. There's a part of you, it's in your ruh, and Imam Buti talks about this. He says you can even find this, these people might not be Muslim, they could be atheist, secularists. They're going to say there's something missing, there's something wrong, and I don't know why. I can't put a finger on it. There's something that troubles me, there's something that causes me anger, there's something, like I'm yearning for something, but I don't know what it is. And that's what it is. It's your ruh is yearning to be reunited with Allah once again. And one of the examples he gives, because people might say, well, how can we don't have a memory of this? Well, no, listen, your memory is tied to your hearing and your sight. You didn't have a body then. But part of the evidence for this is human beings love open space. We do have this this inclination towards open space, and especially towards beautiful views, right? We love it, like when we're traveling. I'm sure you have places, again, in Singapore, Malaysia, where you go and you can see wide open spaces, right? If you're in the UK, you can go out to the Lake District, you can go to Scotland, you go to places, or even just in Yorkshire, you go out and you can see vast hills for a long, for as far as the eye can see. You just see hills and mountains and rivers. And your ruh feels happy because your ruh can look at all that and say, when am I going to be free? When am I going to be free to fly around that landscape and explore it, and then ultimately be united with Allah? This is what your ruh is feeling, and that's why you feel that happiness when you see a view, and you sort of, and sometimes a view can be so stunning, especially if it's a really big mountain range or you're really high up, and it's literally what they call breathtaking. You look and it takes your breath away. But this is what your ruh longs for. That's that thing that's missing, right? That's that little bit that you're missing, that you're yearning for, you're looking for.